guys, Yunus here. So even though we're a small channel, recently I have received a lot of very nice messages from you, very supportive guys, and it really means a lot to me whenever you write any kind of positive comments, like or subscribe or everything. It really means a lot to me, guys. You know, living in the other part of the world but being able to connect with you is like my privilege and an honor, really. So thank you so much, guys, for all your messages, okay? And I really appreciate it. Hopefully in the future the channel can grow and I can have more friends, internationally, and hope it can just keep growing. We can just keep sharing together. So thank you so much, guys. That's the first thing I wanted to say. And the second thing, guys, in this video I'm gonna try to answer a question recently one of the friends asked me, right? He asked me about the quality of the dummies and and I promised him I'm gonna do a small review. So that's gonna be about, this video is going to be about that, right? Guys, first of all, let me tell you this, okay? I don't get paid at the moment by, or maybe in the future, who knows? I'm kidding, but with the, I have no connection to Fairtex company at all. It's totally going to be my honest opinions. But at the same time, I want to tell you this too. I don't know so many dummies around going on anyways too, and should I buy a dummy or not? I already have videos about this. This is going to be more like, not like a total review, but what kind of problems or what kind of advantages this one has, or maybe over the others. But again, I don't have so much experience with the other one, so I cannot really compare, okay? I can just tell you about my overall experiences, so sorry for that. Because there's some dummies, like grappling dummies, they have the arms, but the whole body is just one piece, right? There's some, not even a real dummy, there's a head part, but it's a whole body and everything. So I don't have many experience with so many other brands, guys. So sorry for that. Anyways, let's go on without wasting too much time. Now, number one thing, guys. With these dummies, one thing you're gonna notice, when you receive it, it's gonna feel very uniform, very homogenic, okay? Like the weight over here on the legs is gonna feel awesome. It's gonna feel really light. And I don't exactly know how heavy is this, sorry, because I didn't purchase it myself too. But overall, you're gonna feel it very well balanced, and you might hurry to buy it after you feel it. But let me tell you this, after a certain time, I think after about 1 month use, that homogeneous, weight is gonna go. Most of the weight will keep moving to the legs and the hips, and especially look at this, these shins, okay? Just like in some sandbags for striking, the bottom is gonna get extremely hard and heavy. So it's going to be a hip heavy dummy compared to when you first bought it, the whole body, very uniform. That's not gonna exist too long, so sorry for that, okay? And like I said, if you ever get angry with this and try to kick it in the shin, you might break your legs, guys, if you're not conditioned enough, so be careful. Right now, guys, look this. Can you hear that? It's crazy. Very heavy on the legs. So just so you know. And another result of that, for example, what can happen? You're gonna notice this. You see? It's hard to train. For example, let's say I want to drill some over-under pass. You will need to put some extra effort in order to, be able to carry this leg around, and the upper body is gonna feel a bit too light and so on. If you want to train sweeps, you'll need to take that into consideration. You're gonna need to focus more on the lower body and center more than the upper body. But you can get around that. I think it's kind of, it makes me think more differently than maybe sometimes I roll with some other person. Some of the moves might feel a bit more weird, but I don't think it's too much of a trouble, Anyways, another thing, guys, with this dummy, I've seen two versions. Some include the foot, some don't include the foot, and you should buy with the foot or not. I think, guys, it totally depends. But in my experience, I don't think these, while it might give you a good feeling, oh, how am I going to do the foot lock? Where's the foot as I go for it, right? And how I control the foot, whatever. You can think about these details, but the problem with this, I've noticed, this bands here that holds the foot together isn't very strong. For example, I didn't do this, but one of my students probably did. my crazy students, they already injured this guy. You see, my good friend. He's a veteran now. Jiu-Jitsu veteran. I feel for you, bro. So, yeah, this foot is dangling around now. So, just so you know, okay? Don't go crazy Hulk Paul Harris on these ones, okay? Just don't try to force it forever. If you want to apply force, like the one we used to do for submission endurance, if you have checked that video, try to focus on the shin more. Try not to put too much pressure here. Okay? The hands, same. Let me get the all. So, hands same. It's made by the same material, but I haven't seen anybody yanking the wrists too much. So if you buy this for your academy, I don't think this will have a big problem. Some people might yank on the footlocks, so you might want to tell your students, but this one is also made by the same material, but I think this will hold more. Again, it can give you some, good feeling, like having the hand around and moving freely. Can give you some good insight as you're doing the move. But you know what? I have in some other academies, we have the without the hand and foot versions as well. I think they also work well. I mean, if there's too much of a price difference between those, either ways around. I think for personal use, might be better to have the foot and the hands. It feels better. I don't know. I like this more. I feel more connected to my friend here, holding his hand in lonely times, right? But if you're buying for the gym, you might consider that. If you have a lot of strong guys like yanking stuff around, you better be careful. That's another thing. And one thing you have to be careful about is yanking this part here, okay? Like people yanking the kimuras, the omoplatas, or like arm bars and stuff. You have to tell your students as well. At the beginning, actually, it holds quite well, and it has enough flexibility here, okay, under the armpit. But I have seen this in some other academies getting ripped off when people yank on it. So you might want to be careful about that as well as you're training with it. I think I might have seen one more dummy, another brand. I cannot remember which brand it is. It was yellow, I think. I can't remember. But anyways, that was the same problem. People yank the armbar on him, and they just pop off. But you know what? I don't think it's a big problem. I mean, even though people sometimes do the arm bars like this angle, high angle. As you can see, I can move it around freely. Not a big deal, right? For this model, one thing I like is that you can make him wear a gi, okay? Come back. Yeah. He can wear a gi. He can wear the gi pants. You might want to, for the gi pants though, you remember how I told the bottom gets heavier and everything, so you might want to get like A3 maybe, kind of a bit bigger size for the pants. For the top, an A2, even an A2 fits him, okay? And so you can put your gi on him and keep training around and so on and so forth. It definitely can take strike guys. He has no problem with striking. I mean, you can hit this guy in the face, on the chest or in the balls, Yeah, I do that a lot. Many times it can take a strike. It can take throws if you can do that. Like for example, sometimes I lift them up and like do overhead sweeps or do other like overhead sweep to armbar transition and so on. It can take the falls. Not a big problem with those. What else? It's red. I don't know if it pisses you off. For some people, maybe you don't like the color. But really, yeah, the color for Shanghai BJJ in our academy, it fits our academy very well. That's about it. It's a dummy. It's not as good as a partner ever. But, like we said, I always find it, okay, you can fall. I always find it, a good tool to train with, especially if you know how to train. Guys, I don't know, these are the questions that come to my mind. If you have any specific questions, please ask me under this video, and I'm going to try to answer, okay? Maybe the material, right? It seems like a certain, I guess, let me see, it says handmade and Syntec leather, which overall don't have any, problem parts around. You can see some of the areas, losing color and losing some skin and everything, but overall like the big body, you know, parts where like joints are not involved, they are holding out quite well. It's the problem parts are the joints. Other than that, it is very durable, very durable. It didn't lose color except these, you know, overused parts. So, yeah. If you have any questions, like I said, guys, please feel free to ask me under this video in the comment section, and I'm gonna try to answer all your questions. Okay, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Hope it was useful to you and to my other friend as well who asked the question. And yeah, it's not a bad boy. You can consider buying it if you have the budget. All right. Thank you, guys.